Howdy y'all and welcome. Hope I was doing well so far. Before we get into the forecast of what we could expect for the next couple of weeks, there's going to be a rare planetary alignment that's going to be occurring on February 28th. Won't happen for at least the next decade, at least until 2040, and the next one after that being in 2080. So make sure you get out and see that. It's going to happen during the evening hours of the 28th. You'll be able to see Saturn, Mercury, Neptune, Venus, Uranus, Jupiter, and Mars with your bare eyes. The hardest ones to see will be Uranus and Neptune. Those will require binoculars or a telescope. Saturn will be the most difficult because of its proximity to the sun at this time. So again, make sure you head out and see this once in a lifetime opportunity. Of course, it has to be clear out to be able to see this rare planetary alignment. So let's go and take a look at whether or not it's going to be clear out there to see it. Of course, today and tomorrow going to be pretty soggy up in the upper Great Lakes and Northeast, with some snow showers occurring up here in the Northeast as well. And as we push off into the 28th, at least the evening of the 28th, we can see that the upper Great Lakes dealing with some snow, but really the rest of the country is looking to be pretty dry. As far as visibility goes, you can see much of the country is going to be having some pretty good viewing, except for over here in Idaho, parts of Montana, Washington, and of course the upper Great Lakes and parts of the Northeast. So make sure again to head out and see this rare planetary alignment. I'll be out there taking photos of it if I'm able to see it. I'm sure everybody's going to be sharing it on social media as well. So again, head out and see this once in a decade opportunity to see a planetary alignment. Now after this, the main story is going to be some severe weather, as it's looking like there could be an uptick in some severe weather in the deep south, as a 15% chance has been issued on Tuesday from Texas up into the Tennessee Valley. So make sure you are aware of this if you live down here. I will have another video up before this breaking down the timing and what the hazards will be. And of course, as we get closer, I'll be posting it on X and Facebook as well. So just please be aware that there's going to be some significant severe weather down here in the deep south on Tuesday, and probably even further than that as well. As you can see, there's going to be an uptick in some severe weather, especially as we head into Wednesday, March 5th, near Arkansas and Tennessee, dealing with some heavy rainfall, especially up here in the eastern half and northeastern part of the country with some backside snow. As we take a look at the precipitation totals leading up into March 6th, we've been dealing with upwards of right around 2 to 4 to 5 inches of heavy rainfall, so definitely going to be some localized flooding along with some severe weather, so please be aware of this to live out there. And then it's going to start to dry out yet again as we head into March 7th, and then we're going to be back into a soggy pattern as we head into the middle of the month. Now this is 300 some hours out. This is pretty far out in la la land when it comes to the models. So basically what I'm saying is short term it's looking like it's going to be pretty dry, and then long term it's looking like we could be heading into a severe weather and active weather pattern as we head into right around March 4th into right around March 6th, drying out yet again as we head into right around March 7th. But then as we head into the middle of the month, we're going to be back into this active weather pattern. And as we take a look at the precipitation outlook by the Climate Protection Center for the next 6 to 10 days, we can see much of the country is dealing with above average precipitation because we're going to be coming into a drying pattern from now into the 3rd. But after the 3rd, it's looking like we'll be heading into an active weather pattern, especially out east, as we're going to be dealing with right around 2 to 4 inches of rainfall by the 6th. So please be aware of this, as flooding can actually be more deadly than severe weather. Next 8 to 14 days, it's looking like we're going to be heading into an above average precipitation pattern for the east coast, up into the northeast, down by Florida, and out west, as atmospheric river-like conditions could be in store out by California. But down here by Texas and Oklahoma and our northern plains could be coming in on a drying pattern as we head into the middle of the month, so please be aware of that. And as far as heavy precipitation goes, we can see the east coast up into the northeast dealing with a slight risk for heavy precipitation by the 5th. Out here by California, going to be dealing with some atmospheric river-like conditions from the 7th into the 11th. So be aware that heavy rainfall could be in store here in the middle of the month. And the main hazards for the next 8 to 14 days is going to be heavy snowfall up here in the California mountains. Now, as far as temperatures go, since it has been pretty nice out here lately, I've been enjoying nice weather. I'm sure y'all have been too. See today, dealing with some upper 60s to low 70-degree temperatures up in Indiana, and dealing with some 80-degree temperatures down by Florida and Texas. And we're going to be in this back and forth pattern for quite some time, actually, especially as we head into this weekend. Could be dealing with some chilly temperatures, though, so be aware of this. Don't be fooled by these nice warm temperatures, although we're going to be warming up again as we head into next week. And this is what's fueling that severe weather threat on Tuesday. Nice warm air coming to the north, cold air coming down to the south. And of course, that cold air is going to win out because it's still wintertime, unfortunately. And it's going to be very cold for quite some time after that. But then, as we head into the 11th into the 12th, I know this is pretty far out, but it's looking like we could be getting back into a warming trend yet again. So basically, we're heading to a volatile temperature pattern as we head into the middle of the month. We'll be dealing with some warm temperatures here at the beginning parts of March. Middle parts of March, going to be dealing with some cool temperatures, but then middle and end of the month could be coming in on some warm temperatures yet again. And if you checked out my spring outlook video, could be coming in on a late spring here in the Ohio Valley and upper Midwest, and for really much of the country with a sort of normal to a little bit below normal severe weather pattern. But go check that video out. I'll break that down in detail in that video. As far as the temperature outlook for the next 6 to 10 days, see, much of the country is doing with near normal to above average temperatures, except for down here by California, Nevada, and Arizona, and parts of Maine. Next 8 to 14 days, we're dealing with some cool temperatures over here in the northwest and western part of the country, while the rest of the country is going to be heading into a near normal to above average temperature pattern. So basically, short term could be pretty nice out there, but don't be fooled because cold air is going to be coming back. So we head into the middle and end of the month, could be back into some warm temperatures yet again. So don't plan anything yet. If you're planning on planning anything, please hold off. Wait until at least late April into May, especially over here in Indiana and Ohio and Illinois. Now, it is going to be pretty windy out there too, other than the uptick in some severe weather and flooding. If we head into the March 5th into 11th time frame, there's going to be some high winds along with that as well. We're heading into windy season as we transition from winter into spring. So be aware of this if you live over here on the eastern part of the country. Now let's go ahead and get into this week in weather history from February 26th all the way into March 3rd. Now I'm not going to go through all of these. I'm only going to go through some significant ones for every month. In 1910, February 26th, there was a record amount of snowfall, which led to an avalanche on March 1st. With some areas getting in on right around 129 inches of snow. Back in 2023, there was a tornado outbreak in Oklahoma and western and northern Texas, with over 13 tornadoes setting a February record. And of course, in New York City, back in 2010, there was a snowstorm that dropped over 20 inches of snow, contributing to the snowiest month on record, with over 36.9 inches recorded back in 2010. February 27, 1998, there was a winter storm in South Dakota, which brought heavy snow, about 4 to 8 inches in blizzard-like conditions. February 28, 1846, there was a great gust, which produced about 5-foot waves in Norfolk, Virginia. 2011, in eastern Washington and northern Idaho, experienced a winter storm up there. March 1st, 1910, there was an avalanche in Washington State, which killed 96 people, following heavy snowfall from earlier days. 2011, in March 2nd, a blizzard in South Dakota resulted in 22 inches of snow. March 3rd, in 2019, there was a tornado outbreak in the southern United States with over 41 tornadoes touching down, including an EF4 down there as well. Now, some wartime weather history, starting off with the Revolutionary War back in 1775. There was a snowstorm in Boston. About 6 inches of snow occurred before the outbreak of the American Revolution. At that time, tensions were high, and the Massachusetts militia was preparing for potential conflict. The snowstorm may have influenced their training, readiness, though no direct battle was affected. Back in 1776, on February 28th, a nor'easter affected New York and New England, caused damage along the coast. In 1776, the Continental Army was in New York, and the British were planning to capture the city later that year. The storm could have affected ports and supply lines, potentially delaying British preparedness, though its direct impact on military operations is less clear, of course, as they didn't keep much documents of weather data back in the Revolutionary War era. February 28th, 1778, there was a snowstorm in Philadelphia with several inches of snow occurring during the Continental Army's encampment at Valley Forge. And on March 1st, 1780, a blizzard occurred in New England, which was part of the hard winter of 1779 and 1780, which brought heavy snow and cold temperatures. During this time, the war was ongoing, and New England was a key region for the Continental Army. The blizzard likely disrupted communications and supply lines, affecting the Army's operations and potentially delaying movement. Now, during the Civil War in 1863 on February 27th, there was a snowstorm in D.C. with over 8 inches of snow, most likely disrupting the spring campaigns, including the Vicksburg campaign, led by General Grant. March 3rd, 1864, there was a tornado that struck Columbus, Mississippi, killing over 10 people and causing significant damage. Columbus was a strategic location during the Civil War, and the tornado may have affected military installations of supplying depots and disrupting Confederate operations. So basically, 1863 and 1864, both the Confederate and Union operations were disrupted due to snowstorms and tornadoes. Now, in 1942, during World War II, from February 26th into March 2nd, there was stormy weather in the North Atlantic affecting convoy SC-67, which was under attack by U-boats from February 26th to March 2nd. The heavy seas and fog played a role in the effectiveness of the attacks. Poor visibility and rough seas impacted both convoy and submarines. Basically, during World War II, the seas were choppy and couldn't really do much because of the weather. Now, during the Gulf War, 1991, major sandstorm occurred, which dropped visibility down to zero. Korean War, there was a snowstorm that hit South Korea, dumping 18 inches of snow, which affected military operations during that year. So that's some weather history during the wartime and here recently. So hopefully y'all enjoyed today's weather forecast. If you did, sure you hit that like and share button so more folks are informed about the weather. Also, leave me some feedback in the comment section down below, as feedback helps provide you, the viewer, better and more informative content in the future. Also, hit that subscribe button, because everyone's weather we try to make weather forecasting fun and informative. I also have a Rumble channel if you want to check that out. WilliamsWX98. I'd greatly appreciate it if you check that out as well. So basically, here in the short term, it's looking like we could be dealing with some dry conditions up into right around March 4th, where some severe weather could be in store, as well as some warm conditions. Then it's going to dry out yet again. But then as we head into the middle of March, could be warming up again, and another active weather pattern could be setting up, so please be aware of that. And make sure on February 28th to head out and view this rare planetary alignment. It's going to be occurring. Going to be seeing 7 planets all at one time, so make sure you head out and see those. Won't happen again until at least 2040. And the next one after that is not going to be until 2080. So again, head out on the evening of February 28th to view this rare planetary alignment. So enjoy this nice weather while it lasts, and make sure to check out my spring outlook video, as it's looking like a late spring could be a possibility. So again, have a great day, y'all. Enjoy the nice weather, and until next time, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and never stop forecasting.